Ah, those days. Remember them? A time when the world spun a little slower, didn't it? A golden hue seemed to settle over everything, like a perpetual sunset painting the sky. The air, crisp and clear, carried the scent of freshly mown grass after a summer rain, mingled with the faint, sweet exhaust of a neighbor's Pontiac cruising down the block. Sounds were simpler then, the distant clang of an ice cream truck, the laughter of children echoing from the baseball diamond, the rhythmic thud of a washing machine from an open window. Childhood felt like an endless Saturday, stretching out with infinite possibilities. Saturday mornings weren't about endless scrolling, they were about the joyful rustle of a brand new comic book, the satisfying clatter of a spoonful of sugary cereal in a ceramic bowl, and the thrilling anticipation of cartoons, or better yet, a matinee down at the local picture house. That place, a temple of dreams, with its plush, slightly worn seats and the delightful stickiness of the floor. There was a hushed murmur of the crowd, the smell of popcorn and anticipation hanging heavy in the air, then that glorious moment when the house lights dimmed, and the heavy velvet curtains slowly, majestically, parted. The projector's gentle whir, a comforting, rhythmic lullaby before the magic truly began. Hollywood back then wasn't just a place, it was a feeling. A shimmering, distant galaxy populated by gods and goddesses who graced the silver screen. They spoke in eloquent whispers, danced with breathtaking grace, and battled villains with a moral clarity that seemed to make the world make sense. Every flickering frame, every carefully staged smile, every dramatic exit felt real, larger than life. It was an escape, yes, but it was also a captivating lesson in charm, in courage, in the very essence of what it meant to be truly iconic. We believed in their stories, we adored their personas, and we hung on their every word, even the ones they didn't speak aloud. There was an unspoken language, a secret handshake between the stars and their adoring public, a code understood not with words, but with a knowing gaze, a subtle gesture, the perfect tilt of a fedora. Simpler times, perhaps, but beneath that shimmering surface, there was always more than met the eye. And for a young mind, growing up in those vibrant decades, soaking it all in, it felt like the most wondrous secret in the world. Ah, the golden days. I remember the scent of freshly popped popcorn mingling with the faint, metallic tang of ozone from the projector, a symphony only a young Art Bellamy would truly appreciate. Our childhoods back then, they were a tapestry woven with simpler threads. Days stretched out, long and sun-drenched, punctuated by the whirring click of a Viewmaster, its bright, stereoscopic images transporting us from our living rooms to the Grand Canyons or, more often, to the dazzling sets of Hollywood. We'd spend hours flipping through those slides, each tiny frame a portal, a silent story unfolding. Or maybe it was the rustle of a comic book, the vivid colors of Superman leaping across the page, his moral compass as true as any silver screen hero. Those were the anchors of our youthful imaginations, innocent yet potent, shaping the way we saw the world. But beyond the innocent gleam of tin toys and the gentle hum of a record player spinning a catchy tune, there was a different kind of magic at play, a sophisticated ballet danced on the public stage. The stars, oh, those magnificent men and women. They lived by a code, an unwritten rulebook of decorum and dignity that made them seem almost untouchable, yet utterly adored. You never saw a starlet stumble out of a club looking disheveled, their hair was always perfectly coiffed, their clothes impeccable, even in candid shots. There was a respectful distance maintained, a certain mystique cultivated around their private lives. Scandal, when it emerged, was almost always managed with a quiet grace, a dignified retreat, or a perfectly spun counter-narrative that somehow enhanced their legend rather than diminished it. Think of the effortless cool of a Steve McQueen, the smoldering gaze of a Paul Newman, or the unparalleled elegance of an Audrey Hepburn. They weren't just actors, they were paragons of aspiration. Their public feuds, if any, were often subtle, strategic performances, carefully orchestrated whispers in fan magazines that only heightened interest, never truly tarnished their reputations. Take the supposed rivalry between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, a fiery spectacle, yes, but even that was part of the Hollywood machine, a narrative that kept them both relevant, legendary. They understood the power of the carefully crafted persona, the illusion of perfection, that a solution they offered to a world yearning for beauty and order. It wasn't just about what they said, but how they stood, how they smoked a cigarette, the precise angle of their chin in a photograph. Every gesture, every accessory, every public appearance was a brushstroke on the canvas of their immortality. These weren't mere celebrities, they were architects of dreams, weaving tales both on and off screen. And for a film projectionist like Art, watching those films night after night, reading those fan magazines, it wasn't just entertainment. It was an education. An education in the subtle language of the era, a language that, years later, would become the very key to unlocking a secret long buried, hidden within the faded glamour of those golden memories. Ah, those were the days. A different rhythm, a different hum in the air. You could smell the distinct aroma of popcorn and the faint ozone from the projector bulb as you walked into the darkened theater. The world outside, with its simple cars gleaming under streetlights and the friendly chatter from front porches, felt miles away once the velvet curtains parted. We weren't just watching movies, we were participating in a grand illusion, a collective dream woven from celluloid and starlight. The solutions they offered, these glittering stars, weren't just escapism, they were blueprints for living, for loving, for believing in something beautiful. In a world still finding its footing after global turmoil, Hollywood offered perfection, or at least the captivating idea of it. Their feuds, their romances, their carefully guarded secrets, all played out like elaborate ballets on the grand stage of public perception. Arthur, like so many of us, absorbed it all, not just as entertainment, but as a rich tapestry of human endeavor, a silent language spoken through the tilt of a hat or the knowing glance in a magazine photo. He understood that beneath the glamour lay a profound respect for craft, for the art of storytelling, and for the powerful bond between an artist and their audience. Today, the world spins faster, doesn't it? Information zips across screens at light speed, secrets spill instantly, and every moment is documented, dissected. The mystery, the slow reveal, the elegant dance of public image, much of it has been replaced by immediate confession, by unfiltered reality. We've gained access, yes, but perhaps lost some of the magic, the nuanced artistry of a carefully constructed narrative. We've traded the hushed awe of a movie palace for the bright glare of a phone screen. But what art's journey reminds us, what those faded photographs and crackling film reels truly teach, is that some things endure. The hunger for stories, for connection, for understanding the human heart, that remains. The subtle language of the past, the codes of conduct, the carefully managed personas, they weren't just about hiding secrets, they were about creating lasting impressions, about building legacies that transcended fleeting moments. They taught us the value of patience, of looking closer, of listening to what isn't said. His sister's cryptic message, hidden amongst the relics of that bygone era, isn't just a puzzle to be solved. It's a testament to a time when meaning was woven into the fabric of everyday life, when even a forgotten fan magazine held layers of untold stories. It's a whisper from a generation that valued depth, resilience, and the quiet power of memory. Arthur, in his tireless quest, isn't just uncovering an old studio secret, he's resurrecting a forgotten way of seeing, a profound appreciation for the intricate dance of human experience. He reminds us that true understanding often lies not in the loudest declarations, but in the echoes of a well-lived, thoughtfully observed life. And that, dear friends, is a legacy worth cherishing, a wisdom worth passing on.